Hey guys, it's Cam here. I'm going to do an 80-hour review on the Beta 500, and I've got it outside just to do a video showing the bike. Then I'll go inside where it's a bit warmer and give you the spiel. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, yeah, so this is my 2021 Beta 500 RRS. Magic bike, loving it. Still looks mint, and they do a very good looking bike, but yeah, I'll just sort of zoom in and you guys can just check it out. Radiator guards on there. You can see the front disc guard. Got the hand guards, bash plate there, got the shark fin, I did put an extra foot on the kickstand, just put a new chain on there. So yeah, that's the bike. I'll show you the controls. So yeah, 1,633 miles, 81 hours, and it is the 12th of November 2022, and I got it in June, I think, last year. So yeah, that's the bike. Awesome bike. I thought I'd just show you under here, to showing you that my bash plate's got a linkage protection on it as well, so all good. I'm loving it. So I'm going to go inside now and give you the pros and cons, and I'll just summarize those mods again. So take it easy guys, and we'll get into it. Okay guys, so we're inside again now. It's a bit warmer in here. Sorry about the light in the back. It is what it is. So I decided to write a list of pros and cons, and then I've got a list of mods as well. So I'm going to start with the cons. You'll see that they're pretty minor. I really love this bike, but there is a few things that I don't like and I've had issues with, so I think I can remember them all. To start with, I'll start at the top of my list. On the clutch side of the bike, there's a little hole where you can pull out a little bolt there to check to see if there's any oil in there. It is not an indicator of the correct level of oil. Basically just ignore it, just make sure you put the right amount of oil in. They say 750 mils of oil. Don't use that little indicator to see if you've got the right level. And then I guess the other thing on the other side is the oil window for the motor, which is on the left hand side. That doesn't really indicate as well the right level of oil, so make sure you know how much oil you put in, and I guess that amount is 750 mil. The next thing on my list was that I'd written down here was burning my pants, especially around my knee on the header pipe, and it took me a while to figure out why I was burning my knee, and it's when I'm standing up next to the bike. If I've got off the bike and I'm playing around with the GPS, very easy to burn. I think that's probably an issue that all bikes have. It's just something now I'm conscious of, that I don't do it now. So that was one. The side stand angle, I don't like it. A couple of times the bike's fallen over, and I've actually broken blinkers when I've been riding with the kids, where the bike's fallen over after I've stopped and helped the kids. So that was really annoying, where I hadn't crashed the bike at all, and 2 times the bike fell over because of the stand, and I ended up breaking blinkers. With that, I've actually, to try and compensate for the angle, I've put a foot stand on to increase the length of the stand. So that's one thing. I had the low temperature switch fail on me once, and I was in Utah on some single track. The bike kept overheating, and that's because the temperature switch to turn the fan on failed. Now, it wasn't the factory default switch, but it was the Beta genuine low temp switch that I bought had failed. The charcoal canister, so the emissions piece, when I first got the bike, I used it, and it kept stalling out. There was some sort of vacuum issue where the bike wasn't getting fuel. I didn't trust it. I managed to get home, but the Loveland Beta dealership, Motor Adventure, ripped all that out, and so that's gone, and the bike's run sweet ever since. So if you've got the newer Betas with the emissions, get rid of it where you can. Like in Colorado, we don't need the emissions, so once that was gone, she's all good. Water resistance, up on the Voyager display, I noticed that after I was washing the bike, the display wasn't working properly. I'd also get little the sensor LEDs, like low fuel, etc., was all random after I wash it. So the water tightness up in here is pretty crap. So what I do now is when I wash the bike, I put a Ziploc bag over the front end, over the Voyager, and the connectors, and it's sweet. So that's a pain. The dust cap on the Voyager display where the SD card goes in has a tendency to come open, and you've got to keep making sure you put it on while you're riding. You don't want dust and water and stuff going in there. So that's something that has been a pain. The factory battery on the bike failed after about a year. Lithium ion battery. I went to go and ride it and it wouldn't start up, and the battery had died. No indication that it was going bad, it just didn't go. But I guess with that, Beta did look after me. I bought a new battery at the Loveland dealership, and then Kyle put a request in, and Beta actually refunded me the money. So great stuff for Kyle for putting that in, and great stuff to Beta. Thank you for getting my money back and swapping out the battery, even though it was after a year. The bike, when I first got it, when I put the radiator guards on the right hand side, one of the bolts I had to re-tap, which was a pain. You buy a brand new bike, you shouldn't have to be re-tapping a bolt that holds the radiator shrouds in. And the headlight itself isn't really that great, but the new models, I think from 2022 onwards, or is it 23? I know the 23 model definitely has it, and I think the 22 has, but they've got new LED headlights, so that's been addressed. That's really the main cons. As you can see, most of them are minor, but there's always quirks on a bike. You don't never get a perfect bike, but pretty much these are pretty. It's not a unicorn, but it's close for what I need anyway. Now the pros. So the pros here, I had a 2016 Beta RR430, or was it 2015? Not sure. But some changes from there to the new models is that there's an inner chain guide. So before I used to get chain slap onto the inner into the frame. So they've actually got a guide in there now that it doesn't happen. The exhaust now has an angled piece out to get the hot air coming out, so it doesn't hit your blinkers. Now it looks pretty crappy. It is an add-on afterthought just to angle the hot air, exhaust air out, but it works, and so that's good. The seat removal, one click, pull the seat out, is awesome. The air filter access is very easy. To actually get the air filter on and on is very easy as well. So always keep your air filter clean, and they make it very easy to get under the seat if you need to get to the battery or check fuses, or actually getting to the air filter. So that's awesome. The chain in the bike is very good quality from the factory. I've only just changed the chain now. That's after 81 hours, 1,633 miles. I noticed that the chain was sort of stretching a little bit, and I had to keep adjusting it. So I popped a new chain on. Checked the sprockets. They come with steel sprockets. There was no wear at all. Normally you'd change the sprockets and the chain at the same time. I went to see Kyle up at Beta, the Loveland dealer, and they didn't actually have the rear 48 tooth sprocket in stock, so I just thought I'll go and check it out, and if needed he was going to drop ship me a sprocket, but I decided that I don't think I need it. So good quality chain from the factory. This thing's a tractor, man. Like there's really low end torque. It's got grunt when you need it, grunt to burn, but if you're just cruising through, you can do one finger clutch and just tractor up stuff, and it climbs really well. I'm super impressed with that. Now I do one finger clutch on this, but the actual newer ones, they move to a diaphragm clutch, and those are so much easier even than this. So when I get my new bike at some point, maybe another year, I'm looking forward to seeing the diaphragm clutch and how easy it is. Let's see what it's like. Reliability, I guess it's still yet to be proven, but this clutch is good and it's pretty easy to use. It's a hydraulic clutch, so that's good. So it comes stock with a 15 tooth front sprocket and a 13 tooth in the box, which is awesome. Now the 15 tooth with a 48 on the back works great for if you're just cruising around the roads or gravel roads or highway and stuff. It's fine. I'm more dirt orientated, and I like to ride the bike on the road to interconnect trails, so I went with the 13 tooth, and it's way more torquier. It was torquey enough anyway, but I find the 13 tooth with the 48 tooth on the back fine if I need to go on the highway. You can sit at 60 miles an hour, no worries. You can bump it up and pass, no worries. It doesn't rev too high, but it works great dirt. So I'm more dirt orientated. What else have I got here? The mapping switch on the bike works. It definitely bogs it down when you're in wet mode. I have tried it a couple of times, but to be honest, I never use it. I always stay in the sunlight mode, but it's there if you need it, and it does make a difference. The bike's got separate clutch or gear oil and motor oil, so that helps keep the motor oil clean, because you're not getting the clutch going in at all. So that helps with extended oil changes. I typically change my oil between 10 and 15 hours anyway, and I do both. That's just a thing of habit, but it's great that you've got the separate oil for the transmission and the motor. The oil filter is easy to get to, which helps with when you're doing oil changes all the time. The Beta dealership and factory are awesome, so you've got the support you need. I had the low temperature switch fail. I contacted Beta and I said, hey, I just bought it, it's failed, and they sent me a new one, no worries. I got a hat and some stickers as well, so thank you, Beta. And then again, they swapped the battery out after a year, and they refunded me anyway, so good support, outstanding from the dealership itself, and then also the factory. Fuel ignition is great. And so here in Colorado, I'm going up and down mountains all the time. Never had any issues with altitude changes, so that's been great. The Voyager display, other than the don't get it really wet when you're washing it and the dust cap, but very good display. You can see the temperature, you can see how far you've been, the altitude, and then also I input tracks in there, so a lot of the time I'm just following a line on the display. Works great, especially for me, new to Colorado, so a lot of the places I ride I've never been, and I take a backup with my phone, but I've got all the maps I need in the actual GPS that comes with the bike, so that's awesome. The brakes, very good stopping power, so no issues with the front and the rear brakes, good power. I've got a 3.5 gallon IMS tank on here. The range that I get with that is awesome. I've gone like 130 miles, which is 209 Ks, with still gas to burn. I've never gone into the reserve where the fuel lights come on, and I haven't actually pushed it, but I can do 130 miles and ride all day, no problem. The other thing with the bike, the 500, you can do it all. You can go on the highway, you can go on dirt roads, four-wheel drive tracks, single tracks, you can do everything. So for me, I was sort of wondering, do I go another 430 or shall I go the 500? And I thought, since I'm like adventure riding and going the longer distances, I went with the 500, and hands down, no regrets. I love it. It's a tractor and you've got power when you need it. So that's flipping awesome. Now, so just quickly, the mods that I've done on the bike. So I said before, works fine on the highway. Yep, it does. I don't ride on the highway a lot, but definitely if you are doing it, get your wheels balanced. So both the front and the rear, I've had the tires balanced, or the wheels balanced, just to make it easy. Otherwise it could probably be a bit jittery. Don't get any of that with balanced wheels. Again, the 3.5 gallon IMS tank. I like adventure riding, so I want the extra range. It works great. Radiator guards I put on, hand guards, bash plate. You'll see in the video there where it's got the linkage protection in there. Got the green chili adventure soft rack, and that just straps on the back where I keep my dry bags. Works great. You can rip it off real quick when you don't need it. I got the foot stand add. Again, I don't like the stand, but I added a foot to make it a little bit bigger. I've added the shark fin on the rear disc. The front disc guard, I don't know if you can see it there, for the Exubi, I don't know how to pronounce it, the front guard on the disc. Quad lock, phone mount, those are awesome. I've got the extra vibration dampening as well on it, and it works great because you can easily just take your phone off, take a photo, snap it back in. And then again, the low temperature fan switch, just so when you're riding single track and stuff, it just kicks in earlier to keep the bike at a lower temperature. So I've probably talked really fast, sorry about that if you can't understand me. I'm not going to redo it, I just realized now I'm going fast, but hope you guys got something out of it. I love this bike. There's a long list of pros. The list of cons are very minor. Some of the things Beta have already addressed with the newer models, and a few mods, and I'm looking forward to getting out there again as soon as I can, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and take it easy, and we'll see you out on the trail next time.